Welcome to 30-Minute Yoga. Hopefully your morning's been a good one, and congratulations on devoting 30 minutes to you. So you're going to make this practice whatever you need at whatever level you want to take it. So remember, as we go through different poses, child's pose is always available to you. If I stop Shavasana too quickly for you, then feel free to stay there, perhaps for the entire class, that's okay. And after class, if I have to end it to meet a timeline, again, if you'd like to stay and enjoy your Shavasana extending beyond the 30 minutes, then by all means, please do. And have water nearby if you need it. And let's take it down onto our mat. So coming down just a little slower so that you can actually feel the sensation of first your legs connecting and then slowly coming all the way down. Feel the spine connect, and then the back of your shoulders, back of your head, back of your arms. Keeping your gaze soft or closing your eyes. And maybe do just a big stretch of the fingers and toes, and then just let them naturally relax. And your knees are slightly bent and your elbows slightly bent. And now that we have our back connected to the floor, we feel the front of our body starting to rise and fall with our breath. And let's just take one hand onto our chest and one onto our abdomen. And we'd like to feel both rising and falling. So if you are a chest breather and that lower hand doesn't rise or fall as much, try to take a few breaths where you can feel the air go a little lower than your lungs. And that's just to feel the difference. If it feels uncomfortable, unusual, it's something to practice. An awareness of where your breath is going and whether we're using the diaphragm. Making that breath a little longer and deeper. Your hands can go back to the outside of your body if that's where you're more comfortable. And it's in and out through the nose. Relaxing the jaw and the brow. Relaxing any contraction you might have through the abdominal area. And now an inhale through the nose. Hold on to that breath at the top. Open the mouth, and with a sigh, let it go. Do that again. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Open the mouth and exhale. 2 more at your pace. And then back to normal, in and out through the nose. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Stretching nice and long. Fingers and toes in opposite direction. Inhale. And exhale and go soft. Inhale and stretch. On this exhale, bring those knees in. And hold on here, breathing in and out through the nose. And let's just rotate the knees in one direction. And it's not a quick circle, it's nice and slow and controlled. And then slow it down and go in the opposite direction. Bringing those arms between your knees, hands grabbing on shins, ankles, or outside of your feet into happy baby. And just a little movement side to side, feeling the connection with your lower back onto the floor. And it's a gentle pull of those knees towards the floor. Nothing that's uncomfortable. And slowing that down. And if your eyes have been closed, let's just wake up the eyes, blink a few times. And we're going to leave our knees bent at a 90-degree angle. And we're going to slowly raise up shoulders and head. Bringing those arms behind our head, but not pulling on the neck. And then extending right leg. And you can cross over, elbow to opposite knee, back in, and then other side. And if you don't want to hover the leg, you can place it on the ground. And you can progress to a very slow bicycle. A few more. And let's just grab on, and we're going to slowly roll ourselves up or go onto your side so that you come to a seated position. Hands moving behind our hips, uncross those legs if they were crossed. Those elbows stay slightly bent. We're going to lean back a little bit, lift one leg, then the other, holding those knees at a 90-degree angle, lower legs parallel with the floor. Feeling the abs start to work here. Another option, you can bring the hands behind your thighs, or they can come to your side with palms up. Feeling the core working. And let's release, sit up tall, and let's do a seated cat-cow. So chest open, arch the back, inhale, and then roll back slightly, round the spine, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Sit up tall, second round. So again, here's your options. Hands behind you as you lift those feet. Let's point those toes slightly back towards our knees. We can have our hands behind our knees at our sides. Another option is to extend the legs. If you can hold that or try it a few times. Maybe it's not a long hold, but you're just switching a little bit between bent knees and extended legs. That's always an option. And let's come out of that move. Again, cat, inhale, cow. And I've just realized that I'm saying the wrong words. This is cow, and this is cat. There we go. Inhale on the cow, belly towards your thighs. Exhale as we round the spine. And now, we're going to slowly make our way onto our stomachs. So rolling over and coming down flat, keeping those arms close as you lower down. We're going to do still some more work for the abs, but now we're working lower back area. So top of your feet onto the floor of the mat. And your hands come so that they're just under your shoulders. And it's a slight lift. A little cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and squeeze your glutes. And slowly bring it down. Raising up again. You might come up a little higher, but we're not going into a full cobra. We're not extending our arms. On this one, if you'd like, we can lift our feet. Squeezing, keeping the inner thighs squeezing in together. And slowly feet down. And if you'd like to rest your head, turning to one side. Into position again. Hands beside or under your shoulders. Lifting that chest, keeping your gaze just looking out in front. Lifting up those feet. And you can go into lotus pose here if it's in your practice. Arms reaching back towards your toes. Squeezing. Maybe can you lift a little higher if it's in your practice. And slowly releasing down, and let's turn our head in the opposite direction, giving it a little rest. Facing your mat, getting ready to push into table. Bring those knees a little bit forward. And it's a cow with the belly sagging down. And a cat, exhale. And cow, point the tail up to the ceiling. And back to neutral spine, flip your toes, maybe move those hands just slightly forward. And into downward facing dog. Slight pedal with the feet. Stretch down the back of your legs. Chest pressing in the direction of the floor, and then come to stillness. Point the tail up to the ceiling. And let's just hold here and breathe. On your next inhale, up onto your toes, bend your knees slightly, look forward, and walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. And then we slowly start to sit back into that imaginary chair. And as we sit, we're focused on weight into our heels and maybe just a few slight adjustments to get that chest nice and bright and open to the front. Exhale and come down. Inhale, flat back, and let's just rest here. And let's focus on taking those shoulders away from the ears, pressing back onto our body, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Core is engaged to support our back. And release. Hands on the ground, stepping back with the right leg. Bend the front knee. Making your way up into low crescent lunge. Keeping your hands on the thigh, heart center, or your option to raise the arms up high. Coming up a little higher onto the ball of the back foot. And on your next inhale, rise up and flip that back foot. I just lost my balance a little bit there. and into warrior two. Relax into your pose, relax the shoulders. The front thigh is pressing towards the back of your body. Just a little check. Can you see your toes on that front foot beyond the front knee? Flipping your front palm, leaning back, exalt your warrior. Back to warrior two. Bringing that front knee back slightly, not quite straight. Hinge forward at the hip and then tilt down. Top arm reaching up. Bring that top shoulder back. Staying open through the chest. And bring it back up. Turning that back foot so that it's facing forward and taking a little step. And then getting ready to center your weight on that front foot. Moving into a balance pose, dancer's pose. Keeping those feet one foot connected to the floor, and your option is you can leave this back foot with the toes connecting. You can lift up slightly once in a while just to do the balance practice, or we can grab onto that back foot and lifting your free hand. Trying to keep shoulders and hips square to the front of the room. Squeeze the glutes. Also trying to keep those knees, they don't have to be touching, but directed towards each other as opposed to opening wide or lifting to the side. And slowly coming down. Inhale, swan dive down. Lifting halfway and holding. And again, let's press those shoulders back onto the body. Squeeze shoulder blades together. A few breaths. And then exhale. Stepping back, left foot. Bending the front knee, coming up into crescent lunge. Settling those hands where it's comfortable for you. A little higher on the ball of the back foot. And starting to go into our warrior two, so pivoting and adjusting so we have heel to arch alignment with our feet. Settle in, maybe bend a little deeper into that front knee, making sure it's not pressing over our front toe. Strong arms, and then relax your shoulders. Flipping your front palm, leaning back and exalt. Beautiful stretch, front of the body. Coming back. And slowly bringing back the knee, not quite straight, hinge from the hip. And then tip. And extending the top arm, top shoulder, trying to open up, directing it towards the back of the room. And coming up. And we're going to pivot on the back foot, come a little closer so that you've got your balance. And then start directing your weight over that front foot. Ready to go into dancer's pose, second side. So your arm reaches back for your foot, or you stay here with hands in mountain pose position, and you can just lift that back foot every once in a while, keeping your shoulders and hips square to the front of the room. If you are grabbing onto that foot, try to grab the inside arch. Once you've got that, stand up nice and tall and reaching up with your free hand. Connecting with that standing leg, all corners of your foot. And slowly bring that down. Inhale, swan dive down, flat back. Stay here for a minute. And bring it down. Let's bend those knees. Go into ragdoll. Grab onto opposite elbows. And give the head a shake. A little rotation or a yes, no. And now come back, flat back. Hands down, stepping back both feet. And we're going to go into a flow. Chaturanga Dandasana, so full plank, knees down, slowly lower. Coming up, maybe your back is feeling nice and warm, and you're into an upward facing dog, or you're staying at cobra and meeting in downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg up. Three-legged dog, keep that chest pressing towards the floor. Bring the knee in, step between your hands. Coming right up into crescent lunge. And then immediately bringing the hands down. Press your weight forward into your front foot. Another balance pose, going into a warrior three. So again, you may not want to be leaning too much. You may not feel like you want to go into warrior three, so you can stay slightly pivoted forward and do a lift of the leg every once in a while, or you can tip all the way forward, square those shoulders and hips to the floor, slight bend in the standing leg, extended leg at the back, the toes pulling back in towards your knee. Slowly stand up, and let's bring that knee into a forward position. And let's just do a little rotation. And other direction. Bring it down. Inhale. Swan dive. Halfway. Hands down, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Maybe you're adding in push-ups. And meeting in downward facing dog. Lifting up the right leg. Bringing that knee in and stepping the foot between your hands. Rising into crescent lunge. And getting ready to shift your weight forward and moving into warrior three. So standing with just a slight lean or going into different level, leaning forward, lifting the back leg. Pull those toes back towards your nose. And try to keep your shoulders and hips square to the floor. Breathe. And slowly start to come out of that move. Bring the knee forward. Rotation of that leg in one direction. Keep the knee bent. And then the other direction. Stepping down. Inhale. Forward fold. Flat back. Hands down, last flow. Moving back in downward facing dog. Let's just hold. And again, let's just get the sensation of the arms extending, chest leading towards the mat, the tail pushing up to the ceiling. And then slowly bring those knees down onto your mat. Take them a little wider than your hips. And sit back into child's pose. Breathing through the back body. And if you'd like to give those arms a bit of a rest, you can always bring them in. Hands can rest under your forehead. You can rest by your side. And bringing those hands by the side of your head, slowly coming up. And we're going to bring our feet out front. Sit up nice and tall, and then make any adjustments you need to so that you're right on your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale. And exhale as we hinge from the hips and lean forward, trying to keep the chest open, the nose up, but make sure you're not arching your neck too much. And bring it back. One more time with the arms. Inhale. And come forward. Slowly releasing. Little shift of the hips so that we can slowly roll down. Keep those knees bent. Crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Staying in figure 4 here. Or bringing those legs closer to your chest. And your hands go through the keyhole, grabbing on behind your right thigh. Pull the toes back to your knees. Slowly bring that down, uncross your legs. Just a few of the windshield wipers. And back to stillness, and let's cross over. Right ankle over left knee. And if you're staying here with your figure 4, it's just a little press of your leg towards your resting toes, the toes on the ground. You want to go away from your chest. And if you want to intensify with lifting the legs, hand through the keyhole. Again, those toes pull back towards your knees. And slowly release. Again, just a few more windshield wipers. You might want to pause when those knees are both to one side. And it's just a little bit of a push up with that top hip flexor. So open up through the hip crease. And then back to center. And making your way into our final Shavasana position. Finding stillness through your limbs, your fingers and your toes. Releasing any tension that might have built up in the brow, the jaw, taking the tongue off the top of your mouth. Keeping your gaze soft or closing your eyes. And that focus comes back to your breath. Asking the body only to inhale and exhale. No positions to hold, no challenges to overcome. You're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for longer. You're joining me going into our final position to close the class, and the fingers and toes move slightly. Bend those knees, bring those feet closer to your body, tip over to left or right. And then slowly press up and make your way to a seated position. Gaze stays soft or eyes remain closed. Bring those hands to heart center. Sit up nice and tall. Open up the airways. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Sit up nice and tall. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that the rest of your day continues with opportunities for challenges, opportunities for reflection, opportunities for stillness. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your day. And I look forward to seeing you again in another 2 weeks for yoga.